Hey, what's going on, you Bumble and Burmy? That's right, Arceus Vstar is so good. It doesn't even need a partner Pokemon. It can do it all by itself. 280 HP, the Trinity Nova, 200 damage. Search your deck for 3 basic energies and attach them to your V Pokemon, which you don't have to use to charge up anything cool or special. You can just charge up your next Arceus Vstar. And then, of course, the Star Birth ability. Search your deck for any 2 cards. Can't use more than 1 Star Birth ability per turn. Before we take a look at the list, I want to remind you guys, even if you're playing on PTCGO or PTCG Live, if you guys need code cards, then go head over to fullgripcodes.com and pick them up there. Get your codes, fullgripcodes.com. Okay, let's take a look at this list and let's break it down. First, I want to give a big shout out to who plays super well in the late night series tournament yesterday. I took a look at their list and I got a ton of ideas for changes to my list, to be honest. There's a lot of cool cards I saw in there that I made adjustments to my list based on that. And the number one is the Farfetch'd. I was thinking about a way to use to attack with a one prize Pokemon in this deck. And my initial thought was, okay, you can attack with the Inteleon with the Aqua Bullet, but to get this set up in one turn, you kind of need to play Raihan, or you'd have to attach to it over a couple turns, which I don't think is a terrible option, to be honest. And overall, I might like it more than the Farfetch'd. But I was like, the Farfetch'd is super cool. It makes a ton of sense. It works with DTE. So let's try out the Farfetch'd. And that's what I haven't played any games with it yet, but that's what we're going to be trying out today a little bit. See if we can get some value out of the Farfetch'd. So the Farfetch'd with the Leak Slash for Colorless does 20 plus 10 for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So yeah, you can hit them with the Arceus and then clean them up with the Farfetch'd. And you might be like, well, then they can KO your Farfetch'd, but that's fine because it's a 1 prize Pokemon versus a 2 prize Pokemon. So if you think they could get a big 1-hit KO on one of your Arceus V-Stars, or you just don't want them to pressure your Arceus V-Stars or Vs that turn, attack with the Farfetch'd instead. So it seems like a great option. Really love the idea of it. And also, the Luminion is another card. I was like, wait, that just makes sense to run in here. Why wouldn't we want some kind of utility draw power Pokemon like a Luminion or a Crobat? And I think Luminion is a little bit better than Crobat overall, because often I don't want to be trying to discard my hand too low to draw a bunch with Crobat when I could just go Luminion to get like a Marnie for the turn and shuffle all those good cards back into the deck. And then besides that, got a pretty standard Inteleon engine in here. The 4 Sobble, the 4 Drizzile, the 2 Quick Shooting Inteleon, and then like I mentioned, that Shady Dealings Inteleon. And then our only real attacking Pokemon, of course, besides the Farfetch'd. And we could attack with the Aqua Bullet Inteleon still. It's a little bit harder to set up without Raihan. But it is still possible because Arceus only accelerates the V Pokemon. If Arceus could accelerate to the Inteleon, then that'd be sick, and we wouldn't need the Farfetch'd at all. But it can't. So, got the Farfetch'd in here. And then, yeah, standard Inteleon line to just help us set up. The Shady Dealing, such a strong ability still in helping us find those trainer cards. Whatever we need for the turn, Drizzle's got our back. For the energy cards, just 4 GTE and 6 basic water energy. So we can, set up our Arceus and then accelerate some more water energy into play onto our benched Pokemon. In the trainer cards section, I'm going really heavy on Paths of the Peak because I like trying to beat Mew. Mew's the most popular deck. It's the most powerful deck. Feels like it's a pretty good deck to be able to beat. Now, you might be thinking it's a little bit counterintuitive because we do play Arceus Vstar that has the ability Star Birth, but we only use that ability once a game and usually pretty early on in games. So on turn 2, we can Star Birth, then throw Path to the Peak in play and kind of lock our opponent out of abilities, hopefully for the rest of the game. Or if we're up against Mew Vmax, to be honest, we can throw out the Path to the Peak as soon as turn 1. And then for our opponent to usually play the game, they have to have a counter stadium. And if they don't have a counter stadium, they're probably not playing the game. And because we have like Shady Dealings and stuff, we can probably get by without using our Star Birth. But they're probably, if they're going to be playing the game, they probably have a counter stadium, so then they'll counter our stadium. We'll get access to Starbirth. Starbirth will probably go find us another Path to the Peak if we don't already have one, and then we'll keep looping Path to the Peak and hope that it sticks at some point on a crucial turn or two to kind of lock our Mew opponent out of the game. Also really good up against stuff like Duraludon, to be honest, because we do play 4 DTE, and hitting Duraludon can be a little bit annoying when we don't play, only basic energy. Besides that, we got a lot of different supporters in here. 2 Boss's Orders, 2 Marnie, 2 Research, 1 of Melanie, and then also 1 Charon's Care. Now, one of the most important supporters in the deck is the Charon's Care. And that's why I actually play a Pal Pad so we can reuse it. I might go up to 2 Charon's Care as well, because it is just such an important card in a ton of situations, a ton of matchups, pretty much any matchup, and a ton of situations besides that, to just make sure we can kind of loop our Arceus V-Stars quite a bit, just as often as possible. Just loop them with the Charon's Care, pick it up, bring up a new one that we accelerated a water energy to, attach to fresh DTE, or attach to DTE, evolve to a fresh V-Star, and kind of repeat the process a couple times to help us get ahead in matchups. So currently only 1 Charon's Care, 1 Pal Pad right now, but I could definitely see going to 2 Charon's Care plus a Pal Pad. So we have the option of maybe using 4 Charon's Care over a game. For the Pokemon search, we got 4 Quick Ball, 4 Level Ball, 3 Evolution Incense, and 1 Ultra Ball. I've been liking the 1 Ultra Ball over the 4th Evolution Incense in a lot of decks, because it's another way to kind of discard cards that are dead towards the end of the game, like Paths of the Peaks in certain matchups in this deck, or kind of anything that's dead in a certain matchup. The Ultra Ball can kind of discard. It's also another out to basic Pokemon and anything, to be honest. So it kind of almost acts like a 5th Quick Ball, but could also just find us a Drizzile or an Inteleon, depending on what we need for the situation. Got a couple big charm in here, because when we're looping the Arceus, when we put down that fresh Arceus Vstar that we just picked up with Charon's Care, we want to be able to protect it from getting KO. So 220 HP, not the tankiest in the format. So if we can put a big charm on it, make it to that 250. In a lot of situations, that makes a big difference up against stuff like Duraludon and Mew VMAX particularly. That definitely is a game changer. But sometimes even having it on our active V-Star is also where we want it instead. So it depends on the situation, depends on the matchup, but the big charms are definitely solid cards to help us from getting knocked out, whether it be the benched V or the active V-Star. And a couple Scoop Up Nets, Bucket to help us find water energy, and I think that's it for talking about the list. So let's go ahead and let's get into some games with the Arceus V-Star, and I'll show you guys how the deck works. All right, here we go. Mulligan in our first hand, but no problem. Looks like my opponent got a mulligan as well. And there we go, Farfetch'd and Arceus. So we're probably going to open up with the Fetched here, I think. We don't want to give up a Arceus to the active, especially when my opponent is, I believe, going first. Yeah, my opponent's going first, so we don't want to give them up an Arceus off the rip. We'd rather give them up that Farfetch'd Quick Ball coming down. They have the Remoraid in the active, so they're probably playing Urshifu here, I would assume. I guess we'll find out shortly. There's a Sobble, but my guess would be the Rapid Strike Urshifu, and I don't have that Dunsparce, like I mentioned, but not a really aggressive start for my opponent, so let's go first. And we got the double turbo off the top. Okay, Arceus down. Double turbo, and then I almost want to pass. I actually might just pass here. We could Ultra Ball away the Evolution Incense plus the Melanie to get a Sobble. I wouldn't hate that. I want to keep the boss. I want to be able to chase stuff on my next turn. Man, this is tough. This is a tough choice here. Just wait till next turn, to be honest. Oh boy, that's where it gets tough. Tough decisions here. I think I will just pass. Oh my gosh, I'm conflicted. Let's just go with pass. Let's go with pass. Yeah, super conflicted on the choice there, to be honest, but I don't mind just chilling, waiting, seeing what my opponent's got going on. See if they actually are playing. It's very possible they're not. Well, I mean, they got really escape rope. I was like, it's probably not Rapid Strike Malamar, because I don't think I've ever seen a Rapid Strike Malamar actually play escape rope. So probably not Rapid Strike Malamar. Although that was like a thought for a second. I was like, maybe they're rocking the Rapid Strike Malamar, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be a Rapid Strike Malamar. There's a Paths of the Peak. Oh, no. That's actually going to be pretty rough for us to deal with, to be honest. Oh, it's Inteleon Vmax. Okay. Inteleon Vmax. Yeah, the Paths of the Peak, I actually can't handle that in my current hand, because my out to doing stuff was the Trinity Nova. Now that I can't Trinity Nova for the turn, though, or probably won't be able to Trinity Nova because of my hand. So yeah, we're a little bit stuck here, not gonna lie. We'll see though. Level Ball's happening as well. Second Remoraid in play, the Octillery in play. There's a Sobble. I would love to hit this Inteleon. Just hitting in general would be nice, but I don't even think we're gonna be able to do that. Let's see what I top deck here. It is a Pal Pad, so Ultra Ball away these two to get myself a Sobble to then find a Drizzile next turn. Is gonna have to be the play, I think, here. Sobble, Arceus, and then end turn, I guess. And then I could play the Pal Pad now, but I don't really prioritize. I don't really like, those supporters aren't that big of a deal to me. So we're just gonna pass, and then yeah, Evolution Incense for the Drizzile next turn. To get a Research. Research is pretty clean out of this hand. Good Research, get rid of, or play the Pal Pad, play the Research. As long as my top deck isn't too good, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, as long as my top deck's not too good, we should be good to do the research. I can't even imagine what I would top deck where I wouldn't want to research, though, to be honest. We'll see if my opponent can even move. They'll probably be able to attack this turn, to be honest. I assume they play Scoop Up Net, some count of Scoop Up Net. So they should be able to Scoop Up Net the Octillery, move the Sobble, and so on. We'll see. There's the Drizzile. And yeah, they can go like Rapid Strike Search into the Shady Dealings for the Scoop Up Net. And yeah, my Farfetch'd is going down. And this might become... we're going to lose the Pal Pad, which is actually... Maybe I don't Pal Pad here. Maybe I just go get like a Marnie. Because to be honest, I don't really want to lose the Pal Pad. I want to use the Pal Pad to be able to use Charon's Care as much as possible, to be honest. Because it's going to be kind of like a heal off. We're both going to be trying to heal as much as possible. Because they play like probably a bunch of Cheryls. They probably play a lot of Cheryl. I was going to say like 2 to 4 Cheryl, but yeah, they definitely play a lot of Cheryl in their deck. We can even see if my Charon's Care is even here, to be honest. It could have been prized. It is there. This does make me want to play the Marnie instead. It also might make things more awkward for my opponent. I do have to draw into an energy to be able to attack and something to be able to put energy on. But I get to save the Pal Pad, which means potentially more Charon's Care in the future. So I kind of like this line of play better. We're going to go with it. Go for the Marnie grab. And hope that works out. We do need a little bit here without having access to that Starbirth. So that could be rough. We don't have access to our Starbirth here. An energy at the very least is what we need. We whiffed the energy though. Okay, so this is what I was a little bit worried about by playing it like this, to be honest. But I mean, we're not out of the game yet. Yeah, we're just kind of in not such a good spot. Oh, we prized quite a few Sobbles. I didn't even realize that. All right, we're gonna give that up. I'll put a Big Charm on the... Big Charms don't matter too much. I'm only doing, what, is it 140? It's 140. I thought it was 160. Yeah, the whiff on the energy is rough. The hand is looking really good for next turn, though, to be honest. We just don't get to chain Charon's Care as soon as possible. And they're going to get 2 prize cards here on this knockout on my Arceus. I could have actually put the Big Charm on the active, to be honest. Well, they have the choice belt, so they're doing actually 170. Or not 170. No, 170, right? Yeah, they're doing 170, actually. So putting it on the V's is probably a little bit better. I could have held the Big Charm. I guess I didn't need to put it in play there. Rapid Strike Search for my opponent, so the Quick Shooting Inteleon probably coming online here. Our Quick Shooting Inteleons... Quick Shooting Inteleon... Okay, they're going for the Inteleon Vmax, actually. That makes more sense, probably. Protect. Well, I probably can't attack. If I have a 1-card hand and I didn't attack this turn, there's no way I'm going to go boss attack that thing next turn. I guess unless I got maybe a Stadium Bump. So maybe it is reasonable for my opponent to play like that. Okay, there's the hit. 170, so we're definitely far behind here. Still hope, though. Here's the research. This should get us an energy. If not, hopefully the Drizzile into the bucket. Hey, we got the energy. Go ahead, throw down the Arceus. We have a Quick Shooting Inteleon I could put in play. Like I said, I don't think the Quick Shooting does too much. So I think we're going to Trinity Nova and then plan to Marnie next turn. All right, Trinity Nova. Let's count how many energy we have in here, actually. I could throw all 3 onto an Arceus, which I think I have to do because I don't have anything else set up right now. So I think I have to go like triple onto an Arceus. Yeah, I think I kind of have to put triple on Arceus. I didn't evolve the Quick Shooting because I want to keep the option of the Shady Dealings Inteleon open. I think it's a little bit more important to have access to the Shady Dealings Inteleon than anything else here. So that's why I didn't evolve to the Quick Shooting Inteleon there. We'd rather keep the option. And here comes the Inteleon. So here comes those Cheryls. I wonder if you even play Quick Shooting in there anymore. Maybe 1, but you don't really need it anymore with how the deck works now. Now that you have the Choice Belt allows you to... I guess you still want to be able to get like weird 1-hit KOs on stuff like Genesect, maybe. So you probably still play like 1 Quick Shooting Inteleon and then maybe 2 Shady Dealings Inteleon because you just get the Cheryl. Yeah, there they find the Cheryl, they play the Scoop Up Net, and then they just need to keep finding Cheryls. So 2 Shady Dealings Inteleons makes a little bit more sense. Hopefully the Marnie disrupts them a little bit there and maybe can cut off their supply of Shady Dealings. That's what we're hoping for anyways, but they're setting up they're continuing to set up super well here. Another Sobble coming down, the Cheryl coming down on the Inteleon. Sobble's in, there it is. Rapid Strike, energy, and yeah, they're gonna get the first KO here. Well, the first big KO. They got the first KO on my Farfetch'd, of course, but we were okay with that one. This KO, not as okay with, and it's getting worse and worse for us. I'm not gonna lie. 2 more to the hand. It's really, I think it's gonna come down to how many Cheryl do they play. We can't ever really do like a disruption play with the boss, I feel like. We got a quick ball. Go ahead and get rid of Path to the Peak. I guess I could have got rid of the Luminian as well. They're both pretty useless here. Find the Arceus. I'll go ahead and bench the Arceus as well. And then play the Marnie. I did want to leave like one more water energy in the deck, but we haven't been finding our DTEs super well. So did find a DTE there. Did not find one important thing we did not find an evolution for our V-Star. So we gotta go find one of those. I actually might. 2 evolution incense left. I think I'm gonna grab an evolution incense. Oh no, this could backfire here because I didn't check. All right, we have the shady dealings. That could have been really bad, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, that could have been really, really bad. And then I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna grab the other evolution incense and something. I don't know, we'll see. Evolution incense and probably Charon's Care, to be honest. This is the kind of play we're trying to set up. This is what we're trying to get to. We can heal too, but can we heal more? Can we out heal our opponent is the question. And I think the answer is no. I'm not gonna lie, I think the answer is no. This deck is maybe the #1 healing deck in the format, besides Duraludon a little while ago. But it has become the #1 healing deck in the format, is what I should say. Trinity Nova, we get to do 200 damage on this one because we have the triple water. Not that that makes a huge difference, to be honest, but we do get to do it. So 200 damage, I mean, they got double Sobble, they got a Drizzile down. They will probably have access to a Cheryl. Like, also, they play probably, like I said, 2 to 4 Cheryl. I've actually seen some lists recently that only play like 2 Cheryl. So it is very possible that my opponent does not play that many Cheryl. It is definitely possible. So that could be good for us. They might be one of those lists with only like a couple Cheryl in it, which would be great because we're struggling right now up against these Cheryls. So that'd be good. We have our Charon's Care in the hand. They're going with a boss play. This could get annoying. Okay, they go after my Drizzile. I'm not too worried about that. This means they're not using a Cheryl for the turn. This does mean they have 2 prize cards left though. So that gets a little bit scary, I guess. We do get to get our first 3 prize cards on our next turn though when we knock out this Inteleon. Yeah, they maybe just don't have, they maybe didn't have a Cheryl here, and they only get 1 prize card to work with extra here. So this could be our time to make a comeback right here, right now. There's the knockout, but they still have 2 prize cards left. I only have 1 Sobble down, so they can only draw 1 prize card next turn. If they hit any of my Arceus, we can Charon's Care to the hand. Definitely an opportunity here to make a comeback. Let's see what our top deck is. It is the Palpad. Okay, that's kind of cool as well. And I think I'm just going to swing here. I don't think I'm going to do anything else. I don't even think I'm going to evolve to the Sobble because we're out of Evolution Incense, but we have level balls left. So if we do get Marnie next turn, we'd rather have access to the Drizzile anyways. And they can't triple quick shoot my Sobble because they only have 1 Drizzile in play. So here we go. Trinity Nova. Get this first KO of ours. We don't get any energy, unfortunately. And we like to try and like save some energy in our deck sometimes to like combo with the DTE. Not happening this time. 3 prize cards. Sobble, Arceus, Water. All great prize cards. We have to be a little bit careful about putting the Sobble in play. We only want to put another Sobble in play when we also pressure an Inteleon. So if my opponent goes boss, KO Sobble here, we don't want to bench another Sobble. But if they hit our active, Charon's Care, bench the Sobble is just fine because then if they... and there is a Fan of Waves. Actually, that's huge because actually we can't attack next turn now. Followed up by the Marnie. Oh my gosh, my opponent's really doing us in here. I guess we don't have the DTE, so I don't hate this. If we can draw DTE plus Charon's Care, we'll be okay. I also did put a Water Energy back in the deck, which is nice. Drizzile, no care though. There's no care here. Or not care. We have the Charon's Care off the Drizzile. No, the other thing. No DTE. So... oh man. So I think we have to retreat. And then we probably just get boss knocked out next turn, unfortunately. Yeah, we had the Charon's Care plan lined up. Fan of Waves, that was huge. That Fan of Waves was huge there, not gonna lie. Fan of Waves, and then the Marnie, and then now we don't draw into a DTE off the Marnie. If we drew into a DTE, we'd be just fine. Of course, we could still top deck it. That's still a possibility as top deck DTE. But we're in a rough spot here. 170 coming down. What does the top deck look like? Big Charm. All right, Big Charm is not great. Shady Dealings. I think we have to get like a research here or something. The Charon's Care just doesn't do anything. I mean, I guess I could Charon's Care and then send up the Drizzile and pass with Drizzile in the active and attach to the next Arceus. But then if they just boss again, we're just in like the same bad spot, right? Like it doesn't feel... I feel like it's so likely that they have access to a boss. So if I just run away, it's not going to do anything. They are down 2 boss. Maybe they only play 2 boss, actually, to be honest. Okay, maybe this is fine. What if we did Charon's Care here? All right, what if we did? Let's try it. Let's try it. See how it goes. Yeah, they're down 2 boss. How many bosses do they actually play? Probably like 2, to be honest. I mean, I could evolve this right now. I don't see a reason not to, I guess. Struggling to see a reason not to. Put the big charms in play as well. I don't know where. I mean, I guess if that's true, maybe I could even level ball. Like, if we're just playing like they're at a boss, and maybe we just have to play like they're at a boss here. 2 boss down. This deck usually doesn't play a ton of boss. They might play a pal pad. And then we scoop up net this. Okay. Send up a Sobble to get rid of. Bench a Sobble so that we can access to a supporter next turn. And then throw some big charms. I don't know, like... Also, I don't want to get Marnie to get and have these big charms, is basically what I'm thinking. We could throw them like here and here, I guess. That's like fine, right? That's like fine. That seems fine to me. We'll throw them there and there. Here and here, there and there. And then, yeah, pass over to my opponent. Let's see what they've got. Can they close out the game on me here this turn? Or are we going to get at least another turn to play with? Let's find out. I don't know if I have a second Marnie. I do play 2 Marnie. Both my Marnies are gone. Okay. So the Marnies are gone. The Sharon's Care is gone. The Melanie's gone. I have a research left, but discarding the water energy does not sound great. But I do feel like I have to find the pal pad to find that next Sharon's Care and so on. So we probably need to do that. Let's check their discard pile real fast. Down a Cheryl, 2 boss. Yeah, they're down the bosses, like I mentioned. They keep thinning out their deck as well. So even though they're not really getting relevant cards for the turn in play here, there is the Shady Dealings. Will it lead to a boss? Even if it does lead to a boss on my Arceus Vstar, we could just hard retreat it. Send up the Sobble again. Attached to a new... Oh, they do play the pal pad. Okay. Am I out of scoop up net? I actually don't know. Yes, I'm out of scoop up net, so I can't like evolve to the Drizzle and scoop net out of play. They could even go for a boss this turn, and that would be pretty good as well, to be honest. But to be honest, they don't have to go for a boss. Just having those, and I believe they got... What did they grab? They did grab double boss, so here comes the Shady Dealings, and I'm sure it's going to grab double boss, and they're going to boss up my Arceus. For sure, and hit it. Well, I could go for... Yeah, boss scoop up net. Okay, makes sense. All right, so we know they have back-to-back bosses coming. If I can pull off, if I top deck another Drizzle, I could go pal pad Sharon's Care, reset my Arceus, force another boss out of them, and then retreat once again and kind of do a little bit of a loop, I guess. I don't know. Does this ever lead to a victory for me, though? It feels rough. It feels rough. Here comes the Gmax Spiral. Okay, so I get hit for 140. So I have to top deck a Drizzle here, I feel like. I have to Sharon's Care. It feels like we're about to get out healed here. If I retreat, they just have the other boss. All right, I think we give this one to our opponent. Yeah, this one is definitely a tough matchup. Did what we could. Had a slow start, though, and we weren't... Any of our plays from there weren't able to do it. They did have the pal pad in the end, so we do end up taking the L here to the Inteleon Vmax in this first one. All right, we are going second once again. Sobble starts, so we could look for a Keep Calling. Got a quick ball for an Arceus, and then we have Research. We're up against the... What's it called? Rapid Strike Malamar. So this matchup, no clue if we're favored or unfavored. Our Shady Dealings Inteleon is now in the hand alongside the Research, which is obviously not great. Actually, my opponent looks like they chose for me to go first, so actually that leads to some other lines of play we can take here. So now we get to actually... Okay, so this is actually pretty good. It looks like we did price 2 Arceus VZ, so that is not good. Well, we can avoid the path to the peak early on here. I'm going to pass over to my opponent, and we actually don't even have to. What do we not even have to do? Let's say attack next turn. We don't have to play the Research next turn. I probably will, but we don't have to. We'll see what we end up going with here, though. Yeah, we don't have to actually play the Research next turn. We'll see what we end up going with here, though. Definitely probably gonna Shade Dealings. And then I might have to net... I probably have to net this Drizzle out of the active, unfortunately. It'd be nice to be able to move it without netting it. I want to keep my Drizzles in play because I want to make those quick shooting Inteleons actually for this matchup. It's kind of the ideal thing we try and set up in this matchup is the quick shooting Inteleon. We want to set up the quick shooting Inteleons because then we can like pressure the in-case, pressure the rem rate, especially without ideally using our scoop up nets, because that can allow us to get to triple quick shooting at some point. But it looks like in this scenario, I am going to have to... Use a scoop up net if I want to attack turn 2 here, and ideally, yeah, I kind of just want to attack turn 2 here, to be honest. I'm gonna go ahead and put the Drizzile in play, and I'll scoop net afterwards, I think, through the Starburst. So we'll use Shady Dealings here. I think we'll just get a Big Charm. That seems fine to me. Let's just take a quick look at the deck. We did probably do Arceus. Dobble, Drizziles are there. It looks like we only have one quick shooting. Oh no, both quick shootings are there. So let's check our net count. Oh no, I didn't see them. Or did we prize double net? No, they're both there. So we can get off a triple quick shooting Inteleon. Triple quick shooting play at some point. 4 energy in the deck as well. And also using Farfetch at some point, I think we're going to want to do as well. Because then we can go like 2 prizer, 2 prizer, 1 prizer, 2 prizer. I'm actually going to go with a quick ball though, because we got some junk in the hand we can get rid of here. And I am going to want another Arceus to kind of attach energy to. So I'm actually just going to go grab the Arceus now. Change of plans. Arceus down. And then research. And then if we have to Starburst, we will. But who knows? We might get Scoop Up Net. DTE. We got DTE. No, Scoop Up Net. But that's why we kind of waited until now to use the Starburst. And now we're going to go ahead and Starburst. Grab ourselves a Scoop Up Net. And what else gives us the most? Probably the Big Charm, right? Because they can get to 280. So yeah, the Big Charm, I think, does the most for us. And then Scoop Up Net the Drizzile. Send up the Arceus. Play a Level Ball. Just get a bunch of Sobbles in play here. I also want to check my bucket. My bucket's here. And Melanie here as well. So grab the Sobble. We can go Sobble. Sobble, DTE, just kind of thinking through things here. What do I want to grab? And then Level Ball again. I think I'm actually going to grab maybe another Sobble. I was thinking about grabbing the Farfetch'd, but I think we'll go with Sobble here. Get another Sobble set up. And then we did actually lose the Shady Dealings Inteleon. We could also attack with Shady Dealings Inteleon in this matchup, and actually that's really good. Sometimes better than Farfetch because it also snipes 20 damage. So we either force him to put Manaphy in play, or we need double quick shooting plus what's it called to get the knockout. So I'm just gonna go with 1 water here. We have a water in hand, and we can Melanie next turn, so then we can just kind of set up that Arceus that way. And I want to be able to put other waters in play on other Arceus, or even the Surfetch'd possibly. We could put the DTE on the Surfetch'd, but it does limit its damage a little bit. So I don't really want to put a DTE on the Surfetch'd. Ideally don't want to, because it reduces damage by 20. So if we get what is it, 5 damage counter, I guess it would be 4 damage counters. We get to 6. I guess no matter what, we always get the KO on the Malamar, to be honest. So DTE on a Surfetch actually probably doesn't hurt us too much. DTE on Surfetch shouldn't hurt us too much. But we also don't want to take too many waters out of the deck, because we want the possibility to be able to chain that Charon's Care. And if we take a bunch of water out of the deck now, we won't have any other waters to get out of the deck through the Charon's Care. So ideally, we want to save them for that as well. So if our opponent hits us this turn but doesn't get the KO, boom, Drizzile, Charon's Care, DTE to this Arceus V from the active, and then we can search out another water out of the deck to the Arceus V, and kind of loop that maybe even for a turn or two because of the Pal Pad as well. So that is what we want to build towards a little bit and have that as an option. My opponent so far drawing pretty well on the... Have they played their supporter yet? They haven't played their supporter yet. So drawing pretty well so far, but it is going to be a Karina's focus, so I'm not scared of getting KO'd here. Yeah, I'm not scared at all about getting KO'd here. And they might actually even... not even hit us here. They don't have to hit us here. They probably will. With how they played it, they're probably going to hit us. But that's why Charon's Care is so important in these types of situations, because now we can just use Charon's Care. We reset our Arceus, and that's why, once again, why it's important for us to leave those water energy in the deck, because then we can just search them back out, put them back in play, load up the next Arceus, and so on. And yeah, they're sitting here for 40 or 80. My bad. But I think we are going to reset. Even though they only hit us for 80 here, that's like a lot less they need on the next turn, to be honest. So I think we are going to reset here still. So I might do a little bit of Drizzile chaining as well. Don't overly recommend doing this all the time, but I think in this situation, it's definitely nice, because we do want to build up towards the triple quick shooting at some point. Yeah, we do want to build up to triple quick shooting at some point. So we got to get those Drizziles out there. And then from this one, I think I'll grab the Charon's Care. I'll leave 1 open. Grab the Charon's Care. And then I'm thinking about quick balling away the Marnie, to be honest. Well, we do want the Marnies as well. We want like everything in this hand, to be honest. So let's go Challenge Care. Send up the Arceus. Big Charm. DTE. Arceus V. Vstar the active. And then we'll accelerate 1 water energy to the benched. Arceus with the Trinity Nova. Alright, seems fine. And this is like I said, this allows us to kind of keep repeating this. We can't currently get the Challenge Care back out of the current hand. Unless we get something off our prize cards. It is possible if we get something off our prize cards, I guess we'd be able to. But even then, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen. We do get a boss here. We could try and boss the Artillery. Is sometimes decent. Over KOing the Malamar. But usually KOing Malamar makes things a little bit more awkward for them because they have to find all those Malamar pieces again on their turn. Here comes the Drizzile. So here comes most likely the Cynthia's Ambition. We'll see. My opponent goes for it, but Cynthia's Ambition makes a ton of sense to get here. Also, another card I wouldn't be surprised to see them get. They actually go with the Fog Crystal, so this maybe to get that energy, maybe to get the Inkay for the next turn. Both make sense because they have to keep chaining those Inkays here. It is the Inkay. And then there's the Cynthia's Ambition. Let's see if they can pull off the knockout. They haven't developed their Drizziles very well yet, so it's going to be pretty hard for them to get the KO here, I think. I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off because usually for them to pull off those big knockouts, it does involve some quick shootings, some scoop up nets on your Remoraid's or Inteleons and stuff like that. And if they haven't done any of that yet, they're probably not going to be able to start to do it like right now. So yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to actually pull off the big knockout here. I could be wrong. One more search here plus a scoop up net might be enough. Let's see if they get it here. Here comes a level ball. It is for a Drizzile. If that goes, how many do they need? I don't even, off the top of my head, I don't even know how many Rapid Strike cards they need. Is this enough? This might be enough. This might be enough. They might have it here. With a scoop up net on the Remoraid. Nope. Evolution Incense. So they might be just chaining out the Drizziles here, which, like, once again, something you actually want to do on their side of the field. You do want to chain out those Drizziles. Although it always doesn't seem optimal in these kind of situations, it is. Yeah, I don't think they have it here. If they're holding an Evolution Incense in the hand where they have 7-card hand, yeah, not going to be a KO. Yeah, just hit for a 120. That's fine. These kind of situations, maybe they should have hit for less even. Maybe just 40, put the Queen's Focus back in the deck. Hold the Malamar stuff for next turn because they need to make a Malamar next turn. Drawn to a Water Energy. Or so I think I'm going to start with... I kind of want to shuffle all these waters back into the deck, to be honest. Now that I'm kind of thinking about this. So we could go with like Evolution Incense. Grab a fresh Arceus. Do I mind the active Arceus getting KO'd? Not too much, to be honest. We're ahead on the prize trade pretty far. Inteleon. Quick ball away. I could maybe give up the Melanie here because I'm able to put these 3 energy back in play. Give the Melanie. Could give it the boss as well because I don't love the boss's orders in this matchup anyways. It's like, okay, get the leak online is what I'm thinking. Yeah, get that down. Then go for the Marnie. I think I like this the most. Have the option of the Surf Fetch next turn into the Malamar is what I really want. Into their next Malamar. You got a fresh Vmax, got another quick shooting. Double quick shooting out now. And now we can play for that triple quick shooting play that I was talking about on the following turn. So I'm going to go Evolution Incense here. I'm going to grab the Drizzile. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Shady Dealings here. And I'm going to grab myself a Scoop Up Net. I think I'm just going to play for that triple quick shooting play. Grab the Scoop Up Net. Evolve to the Arceus. And force him to kind of put down that extra Inkay here. I'm going to go quick shooting here. Probably both on the Inkay anyways. Oh, hold up. Quick shooting. Oh, quick shooting. To the Inkay. And then got the triple quick shooting set up. Talking about this play since turn 1. Now we have it set up. We're going to KO this Malamar. 2, 3. So currently if I put these on the Surf Fetch, let me just make sure what the Surf Fetch is. 20 plus 10. Okay. So currently we're doing 60 damage to that Inkay. If we quick shooting it again, we'd knock it out with the Surf Fetch. But then we can't triple quick shooting the next Inkay. So I think actually I'm just going to take 2 of these and put them on the Arceus and leave the Surf Fetched just kind of no energy. Leave that the Surf Fetched energy list here. Hopefully get a V off the prize card so that with this next Arceus attack we can load up the V with that last water energy, and then we're just a DTE away from attacking with this Vstar or the Surfetched. And yeah, we're just going to work with the Surfetched with the DTE. And yeah, we set up the triple quick shooting play. So next turn, we can knock out double Malamars or Malamar plus Inkay. So they have to make room for another Inkay on the bench here. And even then, I think we're just going to be able to close this one out in 2 turns anyways. Like, even if they get the triple Inkay on field, which they have to see the play, then they have to go for the play, and then they have to draw into the play while knocking out my active. Because also, if they just don't knock out my active here, I think we just win the game anyway. So they have to do all that and knock out my active, and if they don't pull that off, yeah, the game is probably just over. But there's the Shady Dealings Inteleon. It's definitely possible to pull off this play. But we're going to be in a good spot pretty much no matter what, I feel like. Pretty much no matter what. Even if they pull this off, we'll be in a good play on our next turn for sure. I guess I could have put these quick shootings maybe on the artillery, I guess. Maybe we could have just loaded up damage on artillery. I guess I wouldn't have hated that, to be honest. Rescue Stretcher plus a quick ball. So lots of outs to Inkay there. There's a couple in here, I think. A double Inkay in the discard pile already. So lots of outs to Inkay in the discard pile. And here comes that Rapid Strike Search. What are they going to grab here? Could get the quick shooting. Does quick shooting matter? What's my current HP remaining? 190. So not really. Quick shooting won't matter on my active. They can start to build it up on the bench. Well, let me do it. Does it matter? 2170? No, it won't matter. So they can start to quick shooting my benched Arceus, to be honest. But yeah, they do have to scoop up net. Like I mentioned, they do have to do a scoop up net play here. Inkay comes down. They also have to see that they have to do a scoop up net play here and like put a third Inkay down. Which, yeah, if they look at my board state, I even like kind of telegraphed it to my opponent because I grabbed the scoop up net, but I did need the third Drizzile in play to actually make that play happen. I need the third Drizzile in play to be able to triple quick shooting this turn, so I kind of had to show my opponent the scoop up net. So I think it's fine overall. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I would have preferred to not show them the scoop up net because you always want to give your opponent as little information as possible in these scenarios. Because like maybe your opponent doesn't think of the play, and then you show them the scoop up net, and they're like, okay, what they have in hand? Oh, they had scoop up net. Okay, so quick shooting. Oh, scoop net, quick shooting, right? So if you don't show them the scoop up net, maybe they never think of the play. They don't see the line of play. Whatever, you know. Yeah, there's the proper quick shooting from my opponent onto my bench Arceus. Love to see it. I've been running into quite a few opponents recently who just don't put their quick shooting in the right places. So it's good to see my opponent knows what's up. Quick shooting to the Arceus. Will they bench that third Inkay though? This is huge. They have a chance if they do. Okay, they've put it down. Good on my opponent. Got the third Inkay in play. That's a big deal because if they didn't do that, I mean, we just win. But they get it in play, so we still have a game here for sure. We still have a game here. You can check my discard pile real fast. I got 1 water in the discard pile. Okay. So it's possible. Actually, my best top deck here, I think, is Melanie. I think my best top deck here is Melanie. We'll see if we get it. Because then I could, like, Palpad Melanie next turn, and that's, like, another out. So I don't need DTE. But to be honest, there's a pretty good shot that we find the DTE. We have very few cards left in our deck. And I can always set up a 1-prizer for a turn to kind of stall out. So even though they did the Inkay play and they got that third Inkay in play, we're still in a good spot because... still in a good spot. Because now my opponent doesn't have another... Inteleon piece to work with, which is also just good for us. Just my opponent not having another Drizzile to work with or something like that is just good for us. It's just good for us. There's no other way to put it. So scoop up net. The Inteleon will have the Shady Dealings to work with next turn to find a draw supporter, or we could use Luminion off the quick ball to find a draw supporter. But we got this triple quick shooting play going down. Gonna get the Inkay KO. We'll get a prize card, so that'll give us something else to work with as well. And then we'll knock out the active, another prize card, plus we'll have the top deck next turn. So we have quite a few things to work with here. Hey, and there's the DTE off the pro. So this one should be just all about wrapped up with that DTE draw, to be honest. This one should be all about wrapped up here with the DTE draw. And I could even like boss KO something else off the bench, to be honest. I don't even have to KO the Malamar. But we'll just go ahead and KO the Malamar. And then I'll put a water energy on my bench. Arceus here. Boom, boom. Water energy to the bench Arceus. And there we go. We got a second attacker set up. Even if my opponent knocks out my active here, they only draw 2 prize cards. They go down to 2 prize cards. And then I just set up my Arceus V and take my final knockout on this Malamar. And we are doing 20 less damage here with the power edge because of the DTE. So we do need 1 quick shooting. Or I could even boss up the artillery, boss up the Drizzile, or some other 1 prize Pokemon they might have in play. Be able to just kind of boss it up, take that knockout. So, you know, just a ridiculously good spot here. And yeah, I don't see how we ever lose this one. Here come the Shady Dealings, but I would be excited to see a way of us losing this, to be honest. I'm always interested in these kind of scenarios. I'm always interested to see my opponent whip something out that I have no idea or not expected. Something that I wouldn't expect. I don't see coming. I don't think there's a route here They've got the Evolution Incense, the Cynthia's Ambition off the Shady Dealings. They're going to draw the cards. Getting the knock on my active wouldn't be too ridiculous. But I don't think they can stop. Maybe they play a Fan of Waves. That'd be a little bit weird to see in a Malamar deck. It's not a terrible card to play because it is a Rapid Strike card. But it would be a little bit weird to see in a Malamar deck, I think. I've never seen one of those in Malamar that I can remember. So that would be interesting at the very least. It would be interesting to see that at the very least. But yeah, I don't think they're going to have that. I think we're going to clean this one up on the next turn. Quick Shooting coming down as well. And it does make a difference on the active in this scenario because it basically negates the Big Charm. And then there's that Scoop Up Net play on the Quick Shooting Inteleon. Now you're doing plus 40 or plus 80 in the hand. Now reduced to plus 40 because they did put the Sobble back down, but it looks like they still have enough to get the knockout. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have benched the Sobble. And you hold that in the hand, and then you get the KO that way. And yeah, there we go. 7 for the KO, 280. But like I said, we got the Arceus V on the bench. It's loaded up, ready to go. The DT off the prize cards made it easy. For a second there, I thought we were going to have to dig through the deck and hope to find it, but not this time. Prize cards were very generous to us. And we're just going to go ahead and boss KO this Sobble to close this one out. Could have gone after the artillery, could have KO'd the active, and get our final prize card. Yeah, and that triple quick shooting play put us in prize ahead. Who knows if we would have won this one without it? I think we still would have been in a decent spot. But yeah, like I was saying at the beginning of the game, we're going to play for that triple quick shooting play. We eventually set it up, pull it off, made sure we had the pieces for it in that last Scoop Up Net, and we get a pretty easy, pretty solid dub here over that Rapid Strike Malamar. That's going to do it for the games with the Arceus Inteleon deck. I think the deck is super strong. Still a ton to work on. Still a lot of things I want to work on with it. But yeah, I think the deck's ridiculously strong, and yeah, it's a great play right now overall. Excited to test this deck out more. And if you want to catch me testing this deck out more, check out the live stream, twitch.tv/AzulGG. And as always, if you like the video and you are enjoying the content, subscribe and hit the bell. And I'll see you tomorrow.